Right. Okay. So I think I'm recording, though I can't. Yes. It's gone. Right. Okay. You in class? What have we got? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in class. At least 2 watching live at home. I'm not sure whether I will record the whole of the lesson or just the teaching bits. I might record it all because I think we might move on to doing a Kahoot a bit later, and so you guys at home might like to join in that. We'll see. So anyway, so we're going to be doing Venn diagrams today. Now you've seen Venn diagrams before, okay, but we're going to be doing it in the context of problem solving. So all the kids in class have got a handout that we're going to be moving on to shortly. Those of you at home, I did send it through as an attachment on Show My Homework, so it would be useful if you've had an opportunity to run off that attachment. If you haven't done so yet, and Mum or Dad are nearby, it might be an idea just to go and ask them just to go and quickly run that off, because we're going to be on to that in about 10 minutes time. Okay, so what I want to do first of all is just to run through the very basics of the set notation. So can you all please, whether you're in class or not, on your orange books, can you go and copy out today's title, and can you go and copy out that Venn diagram that I've just put up on the board, please? Okay, because I'm going to be asking you to do a number of things with that information. So if we can just get that copied. So we're going to open up our books and we've got to copy out what's on the board, please. So you don't have to do anything with that yet. You're just literally copying that out in advance of some questions that I'm about to set you. So once you've copied that out, I want you to try and see if you can do a list of the members of each of these sets. Which are the numbers that are in A? And just put those inside a bracket. Which are the members which are not in B? Do you remember that means not in B? So what numbers are not in B? That B dash or B complement means I want you to list all the numbers that are not in B. Okay. So you're just going to fill in these gaps, Angus? Yeah, just fill, once you've copied the question down. Angus, you know what's going on, Angus? Yeah, I've asked you to copy down the question in blue, and then really you're going to fill in the bits in red. And then A intersection B. Can anybody remember in the class what A intersection B meant? Henry? Good. It means which numbers are in A and B. So can you go and list the numbers that are in A and B? So if you want to make a note, I will remind you that sign there, you pronounce it intersection. And as Henry just correctly said, that means what's in A and in B. So basically, we're using this opening question to remind ourselves of everything we did last year. And then I'm going to do it in a different colour just so it's easier. I want you to list A union B. A union B. So with hands up. Henry again. No, it isn't. Anyone else want to say what A union B was? Cecily? Or both? Yeah, very good. So A union B means you're either in A, or you're in B, or you might be in both of them. So can you list all the numbers that are in A union B, please? So that, just to remind you, that's in A or B, or you could be in both of them. So if you're in class, feel free. I know it's been recorded, but I'm totally fine with us having it like a normal lesson. You're very welcome just to be chatting quietly with the person next to you to discuss your answers. Don't worry about the classroom having to be totally silent. I'm totally fine if you've got someone near you. Ralph, you're very welcome to speak to Henry if you want. Charlotte, you're very welcome to turn around and liaise with the girls behind. Obviously, Flo, you can talk to Poppy. It's all fine. If you want to, don't have to. If you can't remember, don't worry. This is revision. We will
Should we just do normal brackets, or do we need to do those?
Just a little curly one. Yeah, those little curly ones. Yeah. And you just literally list all the numbers that you think satisfy those questions. Ready? Yeah, that's B with a little dash. That means B, the complement of B. That basically, yeah, I should have written it down. I did say, but I didn't write it down. Sorry, Chloe. That means you're not in B. You're not in B. You're just not in B. So list absolutely every number that's not in B. Doesn't matter where it is. It's just not in B. It's just not in B. And no more clues. I want everyone to think about it. But doesn't. No, hang on. I don't want to call it out yet. I want everyone to have a chance to think.
I didn't see that comma then.
Well, I did say. Yeah, B complement. That B dash means you're not in B. Okay, again, I can't be sure the volume is going to work. Is there anybody at home who would like to list the answers to part A? If you do want to list the number, just unmute and say them. If not, I'll ask someone in class. Anyone want to list everything that's in A? No, that's fine. Charlotte, can you list everything that's in A, please? Yeah, nice and easy. Just make sure that you include the bits that are in the middle. 4 and 5, yeah, okay, they happen to also be in B, but they're in A, aren't they? So the members of A are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Who wants to tell me which numbers are not in B? Not in B. Douglas? That's not a complete list. 1, 2, 3, and 9. All right, anything that's not in B, doesn't matter where it is. Okay, so anything that is not in B, A intersection B, Henry, 4 and 5, and then A union B, Grace. Lovely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, our whole world on this question, everything in the rectangle is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That is our universal set. So you may remember that a question may start by having like this squiggly capital E, and it basically tells you what are the only numbers that are inside the rectangle, what are the only numbers that you need to consider for your answer. So can you just write down that our universal set here is basically all the numbers that are in the rectangle. So they might be in A, they might be in B. All right, so that is our world, that is our universe. That means universal set. Yes, a curly capital E. Now, I'm going to just squeeze, because I've got another one for you to practice in a minute. I want you to see if you can figure out these. These are harder, so don't worry if you get these wrong. See if you can answer. What do you think would be A intersection not B? Don't call it out. It means, well, what does not B mean? Yeah, and what does that intersection mean? And it. So who wants to put that? Don't give me the answer, but who can put that, what I've just written down, into normal English? We're looking for the numbers which are what? Hands up. Douglas. The one in black at the bottom. Right. Cecily, just put that into normal. We're looking for the numbers which are. No. I just want you to put that in the sentence. Put that in flow. In A. Exactly. We're looking, again, don't spoil it and call it out. We're looking for the numbers that are doing both things. They are both in A, but they are also not in B. So we're looking to process that. We're looking for the numbers that are in A and also not in B. So just have a think. Which of those numbers are in A, but at the same time, they are not in B? It's complicated. And then I'm also going to throw in that one there. That means the numbers that are either in A or not in B. Okay, so try and get that clear in your mind. That first one, A intersection not B, means which numbers are in A and also not in B, compared to the union one, which means they're in A or they're also not in B. So you've got to satisfy either of those criteria. So this is difficult. If you can't do these bits, it's not the end of the world. So let's do the first one. We're looking for the numbers that are doing two things. They're in A, but at the same time, they're not in B. Hands up when you think you might have got the ones that are in A, but not in B. Henry. Yeah, good lad. So can't you see? But why didn't you put your hand up? So so the answers there are 1, 2, and 3. But right, go back to the very first answer, Flo. What was the what numbers were in A? What numbers? I know you got it, but just for the benefit of people listening. What numbers are in A?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But which numbers are in A, but at the same time are not in B?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Why have the 4 and 5 disappeared? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Right, now the next one, then hang on, Henry, the next one. I just want to put this into normal English again. There's two ways to get onto this net. You're either in A, that's enough to get on the list, or you are not in B. You don't have to be both, okay? So, what numbers are in A, or they're not in B? Just imagine you're turning up at some club, okay? And they're going to let you in if you're in A, but they're also going to let you in if you're not in B. Which numbers are going to get into that club? Okay, let's have some hands up apart from Henry. Henry's got all these so far. Which numbers are in A or they're in B, or they're not in B? Yes, Angus.
Is it 1, 2, 3, and 9?
Nope, that's not the complete list. Ed. Good lads. So what we are saying, to get into this nightclub, not that you're old enough for a nightclub, and they're all shut at the moment, but to get into this club, you're either in A. So which numbers are in A? Let's just make this clear. So to get into this club, you're either in A, so that's that one, that one, and that one. So you're either in A, or you're not in B, which is then just picking up that one. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. I know. I don't know if I can actually write them. Do you see that little thing on the? I'm not sure. 4, 5, and 9. Sorry, I can probably write. I'm not sure if I can write over in this bit, so I haven't risked it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9. Right. So everybody, I want you to practice those skills. Please, can you have a go at that question there? Okay. Well, no, I don't want to risk it. So, guys, can you all please just have a go at that question there? Okay, so copy out the new question. We've got C and D, and I've got 6 things I want you to do. Okay, so I'll give you a few minutes to do that. Okay, again, feel free to compare your answers with the person next to you. The intersection, that means and. Okay, so I'm not going to give you the answers yet. I'm just going to remind you what each of those means in English. So list all the things in D for number 1. List all the things that are not in C for number 2. Which ones are in C and D for number 3. Which ones are in C or D or both for number 4. Number 5, which ones are both in C but also not in D. And then number 6 is the hardest one. So to get into this club, you need to either be not in C or you are also in D. bet you some of you would have got that last one wrong. For number 6, you are either, so just imagine you're trying to get into a club and they'll let you in. If either of these two, you can say, well, that's me. So for number 6, you are either not in C or you are in D. Anyway, we'll see. Let's see how we get on. Right. Who wants to rattle me through these answers? Again, you've been excellent on this, Henry. I want someone else to try and do them all. Grace, far away. What do you think? Who are the members of D?
4, 5, 3.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, lovely. You're right. I just want to put it in numerical order. Not in C.
3, 4, 5, 6.
No. 3 is in C.
Oh, this is 4, 5.
Yeah, 4, 5, and 6. C and in D.
3.
Yep. Oops. Oh dear, I just moved that box. That hasn't worked well. That has been a disaster. Just get rid of that scribbling. I'm trying to move this box over. Just bear with me a second. Let's just get that out of the way. Oh, it's getting over there. Right. Okay. Sorry to hold you up, Grace. C or D?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good. Right. Now the slightly trickier ones. 5. And this is slightly easier. You're in C, but you're also not in D. You're in C and you're not in D. You're in C and you're not in D. Sorry, Grace.
1 and 6.
Very good. Yep.
Yeah. C as well.
Yeah. So what? You've got to meet both requirements. You've got to be both in C and not in D. 6 is a bit more like you're saying. The next one is an either or one. So who thinks they can tell me all the elements that are either not in C or they're in D? You'll have a go, Grace. Yes. Very good. So let's just think about it. You're either not. I'll show you. So just imagine you turn up at a club. All right, you're the bouncer on a club, and they say, right then, are you not in C? Which numbers are not in C? Because you can go in. Which numbers are not in C? Flo. Good. So those people have been allowed in. And then the bouncer goes and says to you, right, you can also get in if you're in D. Doesn't matter. So what? So what? The bouncer doesn't care. He's going to let you in if you're not in C, which was 4, 5, and 6. He's also going to let you in if you're in D. Because that sign in the middle means something different. In question 5, to be allowed into the club, you had to be both those things. You had to be both in C and also not in D. It's a much harder club to get into. Okay? Whereas number 6, you've only got to meet one of the 2 criteria. They're going to let you in number 6 if you're not in C or you are in D. As it happens, they'll let you in if you're both as well. But union is much more inclusive. It's a much easier club to get into. You've only got to meet one of the 2 conditions, where intersection, you've got to meet both. Okay, so that's a bit of a summary of where we got to last year. So what I want us to do now, a look at solving Venn diagrams on a worksheet. So this is just something, so we're using Venn diagrams to help us problem solve. So can everybody you don't have to copy anything down, can you all just go to that first question on the worksheet, please? And I want to give you a tip here. So to those of you who are at home, I hope you haven't tried to start the worksheet until this part of the video. Henry? No, probably not. Probably one at a time. Right. So we're given a question. Who wants to read out the question? So we're all clear. Someone else. We've done lots. Go on, Douglas. You're yawning. Read out question 1.
After cinema, first 6 people bought 2 popcorn. First 2 people were 11 bought both, 11 bought both and 10 complete the Venn diagram below amount the following.
Okay, lovely, thank you. Now, the biggest learning point from today's lesson, you must always start with filling in the intersection bit of both. So can you just go and write down, please, just as a note, always start with the intersection. So that's the both bit. That's the both bit. If you don't do that, you're going to get these wrong. So which bit here is, which number there is that they both bought sweet popcorn, but they also bought a drink? Which one is the both bit? Which number? Just call it out.
11.
Good. So you must get that 11 into the middle as the starting point. Now, doesn't really matter the order now. 36 people bought sweet corn. Sweet popcorn. That'd be disgusting at dinner, wouldn't it? Sweet popcorn. Sweet popcorn. Now, have a think. 36 people bought the sweet popcorn. They might have bought both. How am I going to work out? So have a think. How am I going to work out the bit that goes in there? 36 people bought sweet popcorn. They may have bought both or not. So how am I going to work out that number, Douglas? What do I put in there? Absolutely not. That's completely the wrong answer. Hang on. And we're not. That question does not say 36 people bought just sweet popcorn. It says they bought sweet popcorn. The whole of the S circle must add up to 32. We've already got the 11 in the middle. So Douglas.
You do the 32 for the drink.
Yeah. What maths am I going to do?
You're going to do 26.
No, it's not. Right, Angus.
Is it 36 take away 11?
Of course it is, yeah, good.
Oh.
Right, so no, just you're nearly there, Douglas. So what was, think about it. 36 people bought sweet popcorn. That's the big S circle, okay? 11 bought both. So the 11 is part of that 36. So to work out that S, you've done 36 take away 11 to get 25. So Douglas, how many people just bought sweet popcorn? Just bought sweet popcorn. How many people? So how would I work out going the other way? How many people bought sweet popcorn in total? No. Sweet popcorn in total. 25 at 11. Which is 36, yeah. Okay. Right. Hands up. How are we going to work out how many people just bought drinks? Only bought drinks. Henry. Good lad. You do. All right. Yeah, no, we'll give him a chance. So to work out drinks only, we've got the 32 people who bought a drink. But we've got to take away the 11 who've already had a drink because they bought both. 32 take away 11 is 21. So that's why you had to put that both in first, because if you don't, you're going to get that 25 and 21 wrong. Right, which bit's missing from my Venn diagram? Hands up, please. Hands up. Angus. And where do I put that? Good. So that 10 just has to go. Those are the people who bought neither. So how am I now going to work out the total number of people who went to the cinema? What maths am I going to do to work out of people who went to the cinema? Henry. That's good. You basically, once you've filled in all the numbers in the Venn diagram, add all those numbers up to see how many people went to this, 36, 46, 56, 57, 67. Very good. Now, why is that number different? Why is that 67 different to me doing 36, add 32, add 11, add 10? Why is that number different? I want you all thinking about it and checking. We're trying to pick on someone here. So you need to be discussing it with the person next to you. Don't just sit there. You need to make sure you understand. Henry's correctly told us the total number of people is 67. Why do I not get 67 when I go back to the question and add those four numbers together? Why do I not get it? You need to know, or you need to be talking to the person next to you. Right, Lucy, what's the answer? Why do I get a different answer? The intersection bit? Yeah. No, exactly. That's it. Lucy's right. Okay. Basic, and I heard Flo and Poppy and Grace talking about it. If you added those numbers up at the top, you'll be double counting some people, because some people bought the popcorn, some people bought drinks. So you've got some people at the top, 11 of them, who are included twice in that opening list. Right, now that we've completed it, this is dead easy to fill in the answers. How many people, what's the probability if we pick a customer at random, we get somebody who's had sweet corn? Doesn't matter whether they had a sweet corn, I said it again, sweet popcorn. How many people, as a fraction, how many people had popcorn in total? 36. Out of how many people who went to the cinema? 67. Good. So just fill this in on the sheet. You know that 37 over 60, 36 over 67. How am I going to work out how many people had popcorn and a drink? What's the probability that I pick somebody who had both? How many people had both? 11. Out of how many who went to the cinema? 67. Good. And how am I going to work out how many had popcorn or a drink or both as a fraction? Yes, Henry.
What you do is you add the people who bought popcorn and you add the people who bought drinks and add it up together.
No, and the people who had both?
Yeah. Add 11.
Yep, good.
Which makes 57.
Good.
57.
Good lad, Henry. You're on fire today. Very good. 57 over 67. You're very good. Right. Okay. So I think I can let you loose now on question 2. I don't think question 2 has anything new from memory. So there's question 2. Right. So just remember the key bit. You've got to fill in the both first. So good luck with question 2. Oops. What did I? Yes, I think this one I seem to remember.
This is easy.
No, yes.
Easy.
Right. Yeah, hang on. Just be quiet, please. I just need to get. I've got a feeling one of these is poorly worded. Let me think. Yeah, no, I think we'll give our best shot. Well, just do it then. Shh.
Just so basically, 60 people own a cat and a dog.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
so
I
you
know
can see the difference, can't you?
No, a cat or a dog.
Right. So what do you own? What do you own? Cats or dogs? What do you own? What have you got? So you own a cat and a dog. Let's say you came across somebody who owned just a cat.
Oh, I read it wrong. 26. I read it wrong. Is that right? No.
Oh no. Oh yeah, that's.
26 dogs.
I know. I just.
Right. Right. Can we just be quiet for a sec? Just for clarification, I think those 14 people who owned a cat and a dog, you've got to say. Oh no, that is both. That is both. No, I think we'll go with the question. Let's just give it our best shot. Well, we'll just try and figure it out, Flo. We'll go over it in a minute. All right. Let's just give it a go. Start off with the. Start off with the middle bit and then just try and figure it out with brain power. We'll have to see if we can figure it out together.
I think I've got it.
Right, yeah. Just make sure you really get the Venn diagram correct. And then we can answer the 3 questions separately. Okay, so let's start off with the both bit. What am I going to do first? Hands up.
Oh yeah,
I just need a hand up. I don't need people calling out. Cecily, what's the first thing I'm going to do you think? No, absolutely not. What was the big learning point from the first question? What do you always do first? No. What's the very first thing you do? You don't do any taking away to start with.
You find out how many people are
No. What's the very first thing? There was the only note I asked you to make. Douglas. So what's that going into the middle? Right. So all of you, you must start off. It was the only note I made you take. The 14 goes in the middle. That is step 1. You find the bit that is the both and you put it in the middle. So that's, whoever's whistling, stop it. So that is step 1. Okay, now you just start working back from that. Now, let's just do it in the, 34 owned a cat. So how am I going to work out how many owned just a cat? Cecily, how am I going to work out how many owned just a cat? Lovely. You do 34 take away 14 to get the 20. Okay? Okay, you couldn't work out that 20 until you put the 14 into the middle. Now, 60 owned a cat or a dog. Okay, and that's got to mean or both. It's got to, all right, or a dog or both. So how am I going to work out how many owned just a dog? Angus.
You do it minus 14.
Well, what minus 14? Just a dog.
Is it 34 minus 14?
No, you're not thinking. Right, let's have some different hands up.
40.
Different hands. Ed, you tell me. You've got to be listening. Okay, you can't just sit back and wait for everyone else to do it. How am I going to work out, hand down Henry, hand down Cecily. How am I going to work out how many people, how many have got just a dog? Right, Grace. How am I going to work out how many people only owned a dog?
We're going to do 60.
Yeah.
Take away
Yeah.
34.
Yeah, it's take away the 20 and take away the 14. You're absolutely right. Look, 60 people owned a cat or a dog or both. So we've got the cat, we've got the both. So we're going to do 60, take away 20, take away 14, which is 24, I think. 26, I think.
I did that, but I forgot I did
I
that.
got that, but I didn't do that one.
Well, you must have done it that way, or you fluked it. Right, now, how am I going to work out what bit goes on the outside flow? How am I going to work out how many non-pet lovers we have? Oh no, sorry, they are pet owners. How am I going to work out how many pet owners did not own cats or dogs? They've got fish, or they've got monkeys, or they've got snakes or something. How am I going to work out that number that goes on the outside? Right, hands up. That's not wrong. That's part of the way. Cecily, how am I going to work out that outside bit? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You do.
Or you could do
No, you absolutely do. You do 100 take away 60. You do 100 take away all the bits in the middle. So, like Cecily said, we've got 100 pet owners, 60 owned a cat or a dog or both. So that's then 40 on the outside. Right, so write your answer formally using where appropriate. Find the probability that a pet owner. Yeah, forget that set notation bit. We're not doing that today. Not in this context. I just want us to write down the probability. So can we write down the probability that if you choose someone at random, they neither own a cat nor a dog? How many people neither own a cat nor a dog? 40 out of how many pet owners?
100.
Good. That's right. Well, own cats or dogs? Yeah. Right. What's the probability if I choose someone at random, they own a dog? Flo. That's if they own just a dog. Hang on. Look at the diagram, Flo. Look how many people own dogs in total. So they're in the whole D circle. How many?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Because you've done what and what? Yeah, good. So the people who own a dog, and there might be they own just a dog, or they own a dog and a cat, is the 40 over 100 as well. Now, what's the probability I choose someone who owns a dog but not a cat? A dog but not a cat. Flo. Good, that is the 26 out of 100. Very good. So, it's 6 minutes past. We finish at 10 past. Just be quiet, guys. So, just for the benefit of those of you at home, just try and make sure you've got questions 1 and question 2 done, please. Right, please can we have silence? No, silence, Douglas. Everybody needs to know what their prep is tonight. Okay, Cecily, hands down, just so I don't get distracted. And this is for you guys at home. I've put it on Show My Homework already. Your prep is not on what we've just done. It is not on Venn diagrams. Hands down, Cecily. Your prep is on two-way tables, which I've already set on Dr. Frost. That's what we did last lesson. All right? Dr. Frost prep. I set it this morning. Okay. Right, so just so we're clear, it's on Show My Homework, but for the benefit of you guys at home, you do not need to finish this Venn diagram worksheet, just questions 1 and 2. That's what we've done in class. Your prep is already set in Dr. Frost on two-way tables. Cecily, I'll just take your question before I want to just close down the video. Okay, thank you. Right, if we just have a quiet while I can just concentrate, guys. I just want to make sure I do this properly, please. So let me just, oh, what's it gone? There we go. Right, so hello Sophie, we think we've got Sophie, we've got kids. Let me just stop the recording, then we can see if anybody wants to say hello. Let me stop the recording first. I don't want any people's faces on the recording. So just wait till I've stopped the recording.